environment or surroundings can make the difference in a household, organization, or firm. It can create good or bad morale, success or failure, profit or loss. At Tektronix Incorporated, Portland, Oregon, USA, we strive to make the best possible cathode ray oscilloscope, one that excels in precision, accuracy, and dependability. We also strive to hire the best possible employees, pleasant, congenial folk who know their job and who do it accurately and thoroughly. And both aims depend much upon our environment, the type of production areas, surroundings, equipment, and conveniences. What kind of environment do we have at Tektronix? Well, we call it an industrial park, a campus-like setting with a series of functional buildings well integrated with each other. This, we believe, will serve the purpose for Tektronix. We need more buildings, and the new plan provides for them. We need room for expansion, both immediate and long range. The plan provides for this, too. And finally, we need pleasant surroundings to benefit the community as well as our employees. And the plan provides for this. With the help of local architects and a facilities department formed especially for this purpose, we drew the plans. Tech Park, as we call it here, would be, well, one of the largest industrial sites on the Pacific coast of the United States. We purchased the property, 319 acres, just outside of Beaverton, Oregon. It's about 10 miles west of Portland. 22 buildings were proposed, enough to accommodate 10,000 employees. These buildings will include assembly plants, cafeterias, laboratories and offices for engineering, research, and others. Intermingled with the buildings will be well-planned roads, walkways, landscape areas, and parking lots. Now, we are in the midst of a continuing construction program. Several buildings have been completed. This building contains our engineering staff and our cathode ray tube production. This is the ceramics building, where ceramic strips and other electrical insulating materials are manufactured. Here is the retirement trust building, which houses coils and transformers, printing, advertising, and field training. The exterior of these buildings emphasizes the latest in architectural design, simplicity, and the best use of materials. This is the metals building, where metal and plastic components are fabricated. The warehouse, where stock is received and stored until needed. The facilities building, which contains building maintenance and planning. And here is the Interim office building, which contains executive offices and data processing. This is also the location of our Ramac electronic computer. Much work has also been done on landscaping, walkways, parking lots, and outdoor lighting. Now, for a more detailed look at our recent additions, the assembly buildings and cafeteria. Our assembly buildings are two-story brick structures and mirror images of each other. They were one of the first multi-story buildings in this area to have pre-stressed concrete beams and precast columns. If you count all the columns, beams, and T's that were lifted, positioned, and welded in each building, the number reaches more than 700. Exact positioning was required since some columns and beams are exposed and are part of the outside wall. The order of construction was unique. The second story was completed, two-story columns, and the roof and upper floor put in place. Then came the bricks, windows, and finally, the ground floor. Each building has a floor space of 126,000 square feet, enough for a complete production plant on each level. And each plant produces specific types of Tektronix instruments. How feasible is an assembly plant on an upper story? Well, for Tektronix, it is an economic advantage. You see, the component parts of the oscilloscope are small and extremely light in weight. We are space conscious, as these buildings indicate. There's ample room to move about, though. Congestion is never a problem. Each employee has adequate work areas, whether he's soldering a joint or making a final check on completed oscilloscope. In short, the interiors are functional, designed for high efficiency and productivity. Our assembly plants follow the straight line production process, starting from parts receiving at one end of the plant to the final assembly of the instruments at the other end. Component parts, metal chassis, ceramic strips, capacitors, and wires are received here and sent to one of three areas: kit preparation, mechanical assembly, or cables. At the kit preparation area, employees sort and count electrical components and related parts and place them in kits for completion of a particular unit. Bending and cutting of electrical parts is also done in this area. The tube sockets, ceramic strips, and electrolytic capacitors are assembled and mounted on the metal chassis in the mechanical assembly area. And in most cases, one employee assembles an entire unit. In the cables area, wires which feed electricity to the various circuits are laced together in the form of a wire harness or cable. Employees lay out pre-cut wires and lace them together with plastic cord by the use of cable boards. kits, cables, and assembled chassis are then shipped to the unit wiring area, where switches and smaller assemblies are wired with the use of solder, soldering iron, and small hand tools. Electrical components from the kits are installed in the chassis and also wired onto the unit here. Final assembly then bolts together the unit wired chassis and other parts, besides mounting switches on sub-panels and soldering various sub-assemblies in place. Front panels and control knobs are mounted and aligned, and vacuum tubes plug into the sockets to complete the oscilloscope assembly. Next, the instrument receives a thorough electrical check by the pre-calibration group, followed check and calibration crew. The quality control group makes a final technical check before the oscilloscope is packaged for shipping to our customers. Besides adequate workspace, we've included other conveniences to aid our employees. Interior design, color coordination, air conditioning units which pump cool air or heat as the season requires, loudspeaker systems for soft music, paging, and announcements. Hall telephones, snack machines, and lounge areas. Located conveniently between the assembly buildings is the cafeteria, a one-story brick structure. Covered walkways connect the three buildings so that even the most difficult weather poses no problem for our employees. An outdoor patio has been planned for the front of the cafeteria. And a separate unit behind the building houses extra restrooms and a first aid room. About 1,600 persons from the assembly buildings eat here daily. At lunchtime, 750 to 900 persons are served in 75 minutes without overcrowding. This is possible because of the cafeteria's unique American-type shopping center service. You choose your foods at various stations without standing in a long single line. Modern design plays a prominent role here, too. Large picture windows, contemporary fixtures, and color schemes combine to make an enjoyable atmosphere for cafeteria patrons. We plan to build similar cafeterias as we need them. And with the rapid growth of Tektronix, Tech Park has had a constant face changing. Here is our new electron devices building, which will house the entire cathode ray tube operation. What are the actual benefits of an industrial park to the community? Well, here are some. Attractive buildings, landscaped, clean, wholesome surroundings. In short, an area which local residents can be proud to claim as part of their environment. To put it in the words of an employee, Tech Park would be a good place to work and a good place to live by.